We've had 3 days of testimony of Mr. Angelo Agrizzi, who is a former CEO of Bosasa. And this was the first set of evidence at the Zondo Commission that was non-Gupta related. But it was also the first evidence of a person incriminating himself in serious corruption. So, Qaanitah, that was quite interesting to observe because most of the people who have been at the commission so far have been giving evidence of what they experienced of the Gupta family. And here we had somebody who came to us as a surprise of a whole other instance of state capture.
So I think Angelo Agrizzi changed the way evidence has been brought before this commission, and the reason why he did this obviously was to blow the lid on over a decade long of corruption at Bosasa.
The use of cash was from the safe was used predominantly for illegal activities.
In short, bribes, as you've described it.
Correct.
The use of the grey security bags
was used to pack the cash in that was used for bribes.
And we always wonder where the money comes from. And here is a prime example, you know, being presented to the nation of how money is taken out of government. And there are actually deliberate efforts to deceive the South African Revenue Service so that this money is not seen leaving the government system or is made to look as if it's legitimate payments in order to generate cash.
A lot of these were not standard stock items, but that's where one of the errors were later on. So in terms to avoid SARS scrutiny, those are the items you can use that are non-vatable. So SARS, when they see a non-vatable invoice, they don't even bother, they just pass it on.
Yes.
And the fascinating thing about his evidence is that he puts himself at the center of it. I've done this. This is how I gave instructions. You know, this is how we would pack money. That was astounding to see R1 million being counted by Gavin Watson as bribe money to be paid up. And the fascinating thing of how money would just sort of laundered money would just slip through his fingers and be paid out to whoever they deemed to be beneficial for the company, but also important to say that it was a drop in the ocean compared to what the company was actually making from the state.
This was a full pack. There's 100, that there is 200,000. That's 50, that there is 100, and that there in total is 200,000. Okay, so it's yes. 2, 4, 6, and I can see up to 8. I don't know where they packed out the 200, but that's how you can calculate it.
But there are 3 things that stood out for me. Firstly, the modus operandi, how every single state contract that Bosasa has been tainted with fraud and corruption. The Commission has heard that there are more than, you know, between 30 and 80 people who are on the payroll of Bosasa that get between figures of a few thousand rand and grocery parcels to as much as R1 million per month.
But you also have to worry about his safety after this. What then happens to him and other whistleblowers, other people who are risking their lives for the nation to know what has happened in our country. But I think that, you know, what has happened in this week has been extremely eye-opening, and it should encourage other people to be able to come forward and to come clean on what has happened.